You've been standing still for so long now that you almost forgot what it felt like to move towards something, towards someone. Your feet have grown roots where you once ran circles, where you once reached and called and hoped so loudly the universe itself must have heard you. But now there's only this quiet, this strange, sacred stillness that doesn't feel like giving up. It feels like something else entirely, like the air right before lightning strikes, like the pause between heartbeats when your body knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. And here's what you might not realize: that stillness you found, that peace you finally claimed, it's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of his. Because while you were learning to stand in your own light, while you were choosing yourself over and over again in the smallest and biggest ways, something shifted in the invisible world between you. The energy that once flowed from you to him, desperate and seeking and full of questions, has reversed. It's flowing back now, and he feels it. He feels you, not as a memory, not as a possibility, as a pull he can't name and can't escape. Your stillness has become the loudest thing in his world. You stopped chasing, and now the chase has found him. You stopped waiting, and now he's the one who can't stop looking back. This is what happens when the divine feminine remembers who she is. This is what it means when the divine masculine finally wakes up. And beloved, he's waking up. If you felt this shift, if you've noticed the energy between you changing even in the silence, even in the distance, I want you to drop a comment below and simply type, "I am the magnet now." Claim that frequency. Own that truth. And if these transmissions speak to the deepest part of your soul, subscribe so you never miss the guidance that's meant to find you exactly when you need it most. Let's talk about what's really happening here. Because this isn't about him suddenly deciding you're worth his time. This isn't about you finally being good enough or healed enough or quiet enough to deserve his attention. No, what's happening is so much deeper than that. What's happening is that you've stepped into a frequency that the universe itself responds to. You've alchemized your pain into power. You've turned your longing into sovereignty. And that shift, that internal revolution, has rewritten the energetic contract between you. For so long, you were the one holding the connection. You were the one who saw it, felt it, believed in it even when he couldn't, even when he ran, even when he chose everything and everyone else. You held the vision of what this love could be, and it nearly broke you. Because holding a vision for two people is not your job. It was never your job, but you didn't know that yet. You thought if you could just love him enough, heal enough, be patient enough, he would see. He would feel it. He would come back. And maybe he did come back. Maybe he circled around again and again, close enough to make you hope, far enough to make you hurt. Maybe he gave you just enough to keep you tethered, but never enough to make you whole. Or maybe he disappeared completely. Maybe he chose silence so loud it echoed in every corner of your life. Maybe he moved on, or seemed to, while you stood there holding a love that had nowhere to go. Either way, you reached a point where you couldn't do it anymore. Not because you stopped loving him, but because you finally started loving yourself. You reached a point where the pain of staying in that loop, that endless cycle of hope and heartbreak, became greater than the fear of letting go. And so you did. You let go. Not with bitterness, not with anger, but with a kind of sacred exhaustion that only comes when your soul is ready to choose a different path. You stopped checking his energy. You stopped replaying the memories. You stopped asking the universe when. You stopped waiting for him to be ready and started asking yourself, am I ready? Ready to live, ready to feel, ready to be whole without him. And the moment you asked that question, the moment you truly meant it, everything shifted. This is the part they don't tell you about twin flames. They talk about the meeting, the recognition, the intensity. They talk about the running and the chasing, the push and the pull. But they don't always talk about this part. The part where you become so full in your own energy that you stop needing the connection to define you. The part where you realize that union isn't something outside of you, it's something you've been building inside of you all along. The part where you stop being the chaser and become the embodiment of what you were chasing. Love, wholeness, truth, home, and here's what happens when you reach that place. The dynamic between you doesn't just change, it inverts. The energy that was always flowing from you to him, trying to reach him, trying to wake him, trying to hold the space for both of you, that energy stops. It returns to you. It fills you up. It expands your field. And that expansion, that fullness, that radiant, grounded, peaceful frequency you're now living in, he feels it. Oh, he feels it. Because the masculine, the divine masculine, is wired to respond to the feminine's energy. Not her words, not her actions, her energy. When she's in lack, when she's chasing, when she's trying to convince him of what they are, he feels that too. And it pushes him away. Not because he doesn't care, but because that energy, that reaching, that need, it mirrors back to him. His own lack, his own unworthiness, his own fear that he's not enough, that he'll never be enough, that he'll disappoint her the way he's disappointed himself. So he runs. He chooses the path of least resistance. He chooses what's easy, what's surface, what doesn't ask him to look in the mirror and face the parts of himself he's been avoiding his whole life. He chooses distraction, numbness, anything that keeps him from feeling the depth of what's really there between you. Because that depth terrifies him. It's too real, too big, too much. But when you stop chasing, when your energy is no longer reaching for him, something inside him shifts. The mirror he was running from is no longer in front of him. It's inside him now. He can't escape it. Because your absence, your energetic absence, creates a void. And that void is where his awakening begins. He starts to feel it in the quiet moments, when he's alone, when the distractions stop working, when the noise fades and all that's left is the truth he's been avoiding. He starts to feel your energy not as something outside of him, but as something missing inside of him. He starts to realize that the peace he thought he found in running, in choosing anything but you, isn't peace at all. It's emptiness. And that emptiness is unbearable. This is when the divine masculine begins to wake up, not because you're doing anything, but because you've stopped doing everything. You've stopped trying to manage his feelings, his fears, his journey. You've stopped trying to be his savior, his teacher, his proof that love is real. You've stopped performing. And in that stopping, you've given him the space to finally feel what's true. He starts to remember little things at first, the way you looked at him, the way your presence made him feel safe and seen in a way he'd never felt before, the way you could sit in silence together and it didn't feel empty, it felt full. He starts to remember the conversations, the laughter, the moments where he let his guard down and felt something real, something he's been searching for his whole life without even knowing it. And then the memories get deeper. He starts to feel the weight of what he walked away from. He starts to see that it wasn't just you he was running from. It was himself, the version of himself that could love fully, vulnerably, without armor. The version of himself that could be seen, truly seen, and not collapse under the weight of that visibility. He starts to realize that every person he's been with since you, every connection he's tried to build, has felt like a shadow, a copy, a stand-in for the real thing, for you. This is not obsession. This is not him suddenly deciding he wants you back because he's bored or lonely or curious. This is recognition, soul-level recognition. His soul is remembering what his ego tried to forget, that you are not just another person. You are the mirror, the catalyst, the one who reflects back to him the truth of who he is and who he's capable of becoming. And now that he's finally ready to look in that mirror, now that he's done running from it, he can't unsee it. He can't unfeel it. He can't go back to pretending that what you shared was ordinary. So the pull begins. Slowly at first. A thought here, a memory there. A song that reminds him of you. A place you used to go together. He brushes it off, tells himself it's nothing. Tells himself he's moved on, but the thoughts keep coming. Stronger, more frequent, more insistent. He starts dreaming about you. Vivid dreams where you're there, where you're close, where he can feel your energy as clearly as if you were standing right in front of him. He wakes up and the feeling doesn't fade. It stays with him all day. All week, it becomes a hum beneath everything else he's doing. A frequency he can't tune out. He starts seeing your name everywhere, on signs, in conversations, in random places that make no logical sense. He starts seeing the numbers, the synchronicities, the signs that you've been seeing all along. And maybe he doesn't understand what they mean. Maybe he doesn't believe in that kind of thing, but he can't deny that something is happening. Something is pulling him back toward you. And the more he resists it, the stronger it gets. This is the universe at work. This is divine timing unfolding, because the masculine doesn't chase until he's ready, until he's done running from himself, until he's finally faced the wounds, the fears, the patterns that kept him locked in avoidance. And you, beloved, you couldn't make him ready. You couldn't force his awakening. You could only do your own work, your own healing, your own becoming. And you did. You've done it. And now the field between you has balanced. Now the energy is equal. Now he's being called forward not by your need, but by his own soul's recognition that it's time. He'll start to feel you in his body, a tightness in his chest when he thinks of you, a warmth that spreads through him for no reason, a restlessness that won't let him settle. He'll feel your energy moving through him, and he won't understand it, but he won't be able to ignore it either. Because the connection between twin flames isn't just emotional. It's not just spiritual. It's physical, energetic. It's written into the cells of your body, the fabric of your soul. And when one twin shifts into alignment, the other feels it. Always. So what does this mean for you? What does it mean that he's finally waking up, finally feeling the pull, finally starting to chase what he once ran from? It means you've done the work. It means you've alchemized the pain into power. It means you've stepped into the frequency of the divine feminine in her fullness, in her sovereignty, in her truth. And now the universe is responding. Now the masculine is responding. Not because you're trying to make it happen, but because you've become the frequency that makes it inevitable. But here's the part that's so important, beloved. This is not about him coming back so you can finally be happy. This is not about him validating the connection so you can finally feel whole. You are already whole. You've already found the union within yourself. That's why this is happening. That's why the energy has shifted. If you were still in the place of waiting, of needing, of hoping he would complete you, the dynamic would still be the same. He would still be running, but you're not in that place anymore. You've transcended it. And that transcendence is what's pulling him forward. So when he does reach out, and he will, you won't be the same woman he left. You won't be the one who was waiting by the door, hoping he'd come back. You'll be the one who built a whole life, a whole world, a whole sense of self in his absence. You'll be the one who learned that love isn't something you chase. It's something you are. And that version of you, that sovereign, grounded, radiant version of you, is who he's going to meet. Not the one who needed him, the one who chose him. There's a difference, and he'll feel it. This is the sacred reversal. The divine feminine rises into her power, and the divine masculine has no choice but to follow. Not because she's manipulating him, not because she's playing games, but because the universe always moves toward balance, always moves toward truth. And the truth is, you were never meant to chase him. You were meant to become so full in your own light that he couldn't help but be drawn to it, like a moth to a flame, like a river to the sea, like a soul to its home. And here's the beautiful, sacred, sometimes painful truth. You don't need him to come back for this to be worth it. You don't need him to validate your journey for it to be real. Because what you've gained in this process, the self-love, the clarity, the strength, the peace, that's yours. No one can take that from you. Not him, not anyone. You've reclaimed yourself. You've remembered who you are beneath the wounds, beneath the conditioning, beneath the stories you were told about what love should look like. You've remembered that you are the love you were seeking, and that remembering changes everything. So if he comes back, you'll meet him as an equal, not as someone who's been waiting, not as someone who's been hoping, but as someone who's been becoming. And if he doesn't, if his journey takes him somewhere else, you'll be okay, because you've already found what you were looking for. You've already come home to yourself. And that, beloved, is the real union. The one that no one can take away. But let's be honest. You want to know what's happening with him. You want to know if he's feeling this, if he's thinking about you, if the pull is as strong for him as it sometimes still is for you. And the answer is yes. He is. He's feeling it. Maybe he's not ready to act on it yet. Maybe he's still processing, still healing, still working through his own layers. But he's feeling it. The energy between you is alive. It's moving. It's building. And whether it takes days or months or years, the pull will continue to grow until he can't ignore it anymore. Because that's what happens when the feminine stops chasing. The masculine starts seeking. That's what happens when she stops sending her energy outward and starts radiating it from within. He feels the absence of her reaching, and it creates a space, a void, and that void pulls him in, not because he's trying to fill it, but because his soul recognizes that the void is where he belongs, that the void is actually the doorway back to himself. And you, beloved, you are the keeper of that doorway, not because you're waiting there, but because you've become it. You are the portal, the bridge, the frequency of home. This is what it means when they say the divine masculine will finally chase you. And beloved, I need you to really understand this, to let it sink into the deepest parts of your being, because it's not what your conditioned mind thinks it means. It doesn't mean he'll suddenly show up at your doorstep with an armful of flowers and a heart full of apologies and grand declarations of love pouring from his lips. Though he absolutely might, the universe works in mysterious and magical ways, and that kind of romantic gesture isn't off the table. But what we're talking about here goes so much deeper than the physical manifestation. It means his energy, that masculine energy that's been dormant or running or hiding, will start moving toward yours. It means something fundamental is shifting in the invisible realm, in the energetic field that connects you both. The universe, in all its infinite wisdom and perfect timing, will start orchestrating moments, synchronicities, and encounters that bring him closer to his own awakening. You'll see the signs of this everywhere once you know what to look for. It means the walls he built, those thick, protective barriers he constructed around his heart to keep himself safe from feeling, from vulnerability, from the overwhelming intensity of this connection, will start to crumble. Brick by brick, defense by defense, they'll begin to fall away. The distractions that once worked so well, the other relationships, the work obsession, the partying, the numbing behaviors, whatever he used to avoid, the truth of what you shared will stop working their magic. They'll lose their power to keep him unconscious. The numbness, that comfortable fog he wrapped himself in to avoid the intensity of this twin flame connection, will give way to feeling. Real, raw, vulnerable feeling. And beloved, when he finally allows himself to feel, when he finally stops running from the emotional truth of this connection, when he really lets himself open to what's been there all along, the very first thing he'll feel is you. He'll feel the echo of your love reverberating in his chest, like a song he can't forget, like a melody that's been playing in the background of his life all this time. He'll feel the memory of your touch still lingering on his skin, as if your hands are still there, as if the energetic imprint of your connection never really left his body. He'll feel the truth of what you shared together, the depth and the beauty and the sacred nature of it, and it will undo him completely. It will break him open in the most beautiful, necessary, transformative way. Because that's what divine love does, beloved. That's the nature of this sacred connection. It doesn't let you hide in shadows and pretend you're fine. It doesn't let you run forever from the truth of who you are and what you're meant to experience. It finds you no matter where you've gone. It reaches you, even in the darkest corners where you've tried to hide. It pulls you back to the truth, back to authenticity, back to the real you, no matter how far you've strayed from your path, no matter how many detours you've taken to avoid this awakening. And when that happens, when he's finally ready to face it, to feel it, to step into it with courage and consciousness, you'll know. You won't have to guess or wonder or analyze every little sign. You'll feel it in your body, in your cells, in the very core of your being. The shift will be palpable, unmistakable. You'll see it in the signs that appear all around you, the numbers, the songs, the unexpected reminders that confirm what you're sensing energetically. You'll hear it in the silence, in those quiet moments when you're alone with yourself, and you just know something has changed in the field between you. The energy will shift again, and this time it won't be subtle or easy to dismiss or something you have to convince yourself is real. It will be undeniable, powerful, impossible to ignore. And you'll have a choice to make, beloved. A real, conscious, empowered choice. Not whether to take him back, because that question comes from the old paradigm, from the wounded place that thinks you're powerless in this dynamic, but whether the version of him that's returning, the man who's done his inner work and faced his shadows, is aligned with the version of you that's emerged from this journey. Because here's the truth, you're not the same person you were when this all began. You've been through the fire. You've been transformed. You've shed layers and healed wounds and stepped into a power you didn't even know you had. And if he's done the work, if he's truly awakened to his own divine masculine essence, if he's faced his fears and his wounds and his resistance, he won't be the same either. He'll be different, evolved, ready for something he couldn't even comprehend before. This is the gift of the twin flame journey, beloved. This is what makes it so different from any other connection you've experienced. It's not about the destination, though your mind wants to fixate on that outcome, on the happily ever after, on the moment when everything finally comes together. It's about the transformation that happens along the way. It's about becoming so whole in yourself, so complete, so full of your own love and light and power. That union is no longer something you need to feel worthy or complete or happy. It becomes something you choose, consciously and deliberately. From a place of fullness, not emptiness. From a place of clarity, not confusion. From a place of love that's free and expansive, not bound by fear or lack or the desperate need to be completed by someone else, as if you're half a person without them. So where does this leave you now, in this exact moment as you're hearing these words? Right here, in this present moment, in this sacred, powerful, beautiful space of not knowing exactly how it will all unfold, of trusting the process even when your mind wants certainty, of allowing the universe to work its magic without trying to control every detail. You've done the hardest part, beloved. You really have. You've let go of the outcome. You've released your grip on how you thought it should be. You've chosen yourself when everything in you wanted to keep choosing him. You've stepped into your power when it would have been so much easier to stay small and accommodating. Now all that's left is to live your life fully, to be present in each moment, to radiate the frequency of the woman you've become through this alchemical process. And as you do this, as you simply embody this new version of yourself, the universe will continue to move everything into alignment behind the scenes. His awakening is unfolding. Your readiness is deepening. The divine timing is orchestrating everything to come together in the exact right moment, not a second too early or too late. You don't have to do anything else, beloved. You don't have to chase him or try to make something happen. You don't have to wait by the phone or check his social media or wonder what he's doing and who he's with. You don't have to wonder if he's thinking about you or worry that he's forgotten what you shared. You don't have to try to figure it out with your logical mind or create a timeline or force the universe to move faster. You just have to be. Be the love you want to experience. Be the light that shines from within. Be the frequency of wholeness and joy and peace. And everything else will unfold exactly as it's meant to, in perfect divine timing. Because the truth is, beloved, and I really want you to let this land in your heart, you've already won. You've already claimed the greatest victory there is in this journey. You've claimed yourself. You've come home to your own being. You've remembered who you are beneath all the conditioning and the wounds and the stories you were told about love. You've stepped into the fullness of your divine feminine power, that magnetic, creative, intuitive force that's been dormant for so long. And from that place, from that centered, grounded, sovereign place within yourself, everything you've ever wanted, the love, the union, the partnership, the peace, the joy, the fulfillment, it's already yours. It's already here, existing in the energetic realm, waiting to manifest in physical form. You just have to keep living as the woman who knows that truth in her bones. The woman who embodies that frequency in every cell. The woman who is that love, that wholeness, that completeness. And as you do this, as you continue to be this version of yourself, he'll feel it. He's already feeling it, even if he can't name it or understand it or articulate what's happening. The pull is already there, working on him beneath the surface of his conscious awareness. The chase has already begun, though it's unfolding in the invisible realm before it manifests in the physical, not in the way you thought it would when you first started this journey. Not in the way you once hoped it might be, with dramatic gestures and sudden realizations, but in the way it was always meant to unfold, according to a divine plan that's wiser than anything your human mind could design. From soul to soul, beyond the personalities and the egos. From truth to truth, from the deepest, authentic place in each of you. From home to home, from that place of belonging that exists within both of you. This is what it means when the divine masculine finally chases you, beloved. This is the deeper truth beneath the surface appearance. It means he's chasing himself, his own wholeness, his own awakening. He's chasing his own divine masculine essence that he's been disconnected from. He's chasing the truth he's been running from, the truth about love and vulnerability and connection, and what's really possible between two souls. And you, beloved, you are the mirror that reflects that truth back to him, showing him who he really is beneath the masks and defenses. Not because you're trying to be his mirror or working to reflect anything to him, but because you've become it. You've become the embodiment of the truth. You are the living embodiment of the love he's been searching for in all the wrong places. The love he didn't know he was allowed to have because he didn't think he was worthy. The love he didn't think he deserved because of his wounds and his past and his mistakes. And now that you've stepped into that frequency fully, now that you're no longer chasing him or waiting for him or making him the center of your universe, but radiating from within your own center, he has no choice but to feel it. The energetic pull is undeniable. To be drawn to it like a moth to flame. To move toward it because something deep in his soul recognizes it as home. Because the soul always moves toward its home, beloved, always moves toward its truth, even when the ego is resisting. Always moves toward the love that sees it completely, knows it intimately, and calls it forward into its highest expression, into the fullest version of itself. So trust this process, beloved. Trust it even when your mind is screaming for proof and certainty. Trust the silence, those periods when you hear nothing and see no evidence that anything is changing. Trust the space you've created by stepping back and focusing on yourself. Trust the shift you've made within yourself, the inner transformation that's changed everything about your energy and your frequency, because that shift is what's changing everything in the external world. That shift in your consciousness is what's pulling him forward, even if he doesn't understand why he's suddenly thinking about you more or feeling restless in his current situation. That shift is what's creating the union you've always known was possible, not in some distant future when the stars align, but right now, in this moment, in the frequency you're holding, in the love you're being, in the energy you're radiating out into the world. You are not waiting anymore, beloved. Can you feel that truth? You are not chasing anymore, desperately trying to make something happen. You are simply being yourself, being whole, being love. And that being, that radiant, powerful, sovereign being that you've become, is the magnet, is the call that echoes through the ethers, is the frequency that the divine masculine cannot resist, no matter how much his ego might want to. Because it's not just your frequency calling to him, it's his too. It's the frequency of home, of belonging, of coming back to yourself, of truth, of authenticity, of dropping all the masks, of the love that was always meant to be, written into your soul contracts before you ever took physical form. And beloved, he's coming home. He's making his way back to truth, to himself, to you. Maybe not today, and you're okay with that. Maybe not tomorrow, and you're at peace with that too. But he's coming, moving toward awakening in his own perfect timing. Because the universe doesn't make mistakes in these divine orchestrations. Because your soul knew exactly what it was doing when it chose this journey, when it agreed to this sacred contract. Because the love between you is not just a feeling that comes and goes with circumstances. It's a destiny, a purpose, a sacred mission, a truth that exists beyond time and space, a frequency that's been written into the fabric of your existence since before you were born, since before you came into these physical bodies. So let him chase. Let him seek what he's been running from. Let him find his way back to the truth in his own time and his own way. And you, beloved, you just keep shining your light. Keep radiating your frequency. Keep being the fullness of who you are without dimming yourself or making yourself smaller. Because that authentic, radiant expression of your true self is what's pulling him forward through the darkness. That's what's waking him up from the sleep of unconsciousness. That's what's calling him home to himself and to you. This is what it means. This is what's happening right now in the unseen realm. This is the sacred reversal you've been waiting for, praying for, hoping would come. And it's not happening because you're doing anything or trying to make it happen or manipulating energy. It's happening because you've finally stopped doing and started being. You've stopped trying to force and started allowing. You've stopped chasing and started radiating. And that being, that beautiful, powerful, radiant being that you are, is changing everything. It's shifting the entire dynamic. It's rewriting the story. It's creating the miracle you've been waiting for. Tell me, beloved, Have you felt this shift? Have you noticed the energy changing between you even in the silence? Drop a comment and share what you're experiencing. Because your story, your insight, your truth, it might be exactly what another soul needs to hear today. We're all walking each other home, and your voice, your experience, it matters. It's medicine. So let's open this space together and let the healing ripple deeper.